They drove right past me at the intersection. It was undoubtedly Lee, her blonde hair trailing behind her. What was my wife doing on the back of a motorcycle at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I turned and followed them. They disappeared into the forest. I parked and walked. It was a warm spring day, with golden sunlight, buzzing insects, a gentle brise, and the sound of an exuberant cat in the distance. They were on a blanket, engaged in an intimate scene. I decided to stop and capture the moment artistically. The setting beautifully framed the two individuals in question. I casually inquired, "Hey Lee, who's your new friend?" They didn't hear me, so I repeated myself after the sounds of passion had subsided. A brief confrontation followed, and he jumped up to confront me. I recognized him as Bill Avery, another teacher who was several years younger than my wife. They must have sought an outlet for their stress after a hard day at work. I was familiar with all of Lee's colleagues. It's hard not to be when you've been married for nearly a year and a half. This guy had a couple of kids. How foolish. I showed my phone and warned, "FYI, your wife will receive this as soon as I get back to the car." He began to protest, but I sternly remarked, "You committed a crime, idiot." Then I turned to Lee. She looked at me, stunned. I growled, "You're clever, Lee. Do you understand what this means?" I turned away and walked off. Soon after, Lee returned home, appearing disheveled. She went upstairs to shower and came downstairs wearing yoga pants and a tight t-shirt. She thinks she can seduce me and lead me back into her life. Out loud, I stated, "You're wasting your time. This marriage is over." She whined. But it was just a minor indiscretion. It didn't mean anything. I responded, "This spells the end of our marriage. Have you considered that?" She wailed. "No, you can't divorce me over a little mistake." I snorted. "You call this a mere slip-up?" Lee looked surprised, but I wasn't buying it. She casually remarked, "There was nothing special about him. I've already put it behind me. Now I'm all yours." I laughed. "I saw and heard everything, Lee. You relished every moment, and you'll be back as soon as the heat subsides." She appeared frightened. Maybe I wasn't as naive as she believed. She tried to be seductive and suggested, "Let's go upstairs, baby, and I'll show you how much you mean to me." Seriously? Did she think I was that gullible? I tried to maintain my composure and said, "I'm leaving. I won't be back." She took a different approach, her face reddening. "You're making a big deal out of this, Todd. I've never cheated on you. You've been out of town for 2 weeks every month since we got married. I had many offers. This is the first time I agreed. We can get through this if you really love me." I looked at her with a sense of regret. "Goodbye, Lee. Expect to hear from my lawyer." We hadn't been together for long, but the constant deceptions were already taking their toll. I was tired of chasing after her to save our marriage. It was time to bring this to an end. I drove through 2 towns and parked in front of a charming bungalow. In the front yard stood a beautiful woman with brown hair, holding the hand of a sweet 8-year-old girl. She looked puzzled. She released the girl's hand, approached me, and gave me a deep, heartfelt kiss. She seemed a bit concerned. "I thought you were on your monthly trip. Is something wrong?" I gazed into her beautiful eyes and said, "Only good things. I've decided that life is too short. It's time to stop my trips." My wife wrapped her arms around my neck, pressed her body against mine, and sincerely said, "Welcome back, Stephen. Your family missed you." No need for explanations. I knew I was a dishonest, cruel, and hypocritical man. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.